What's up, everybody? It is me, AlexisMaurice, and my co-host, Mr.
Trey Hollywood.
And it is time for another episode of the Wine Up Special Edition, because we're talking about the Real Housewives of Atlanta, Season 14, Episode 2. So go ahead and pour yourself a glass of wine, pull up a chair, because we're about to discuss everything that happened in this episode. Now, before you take your first step, go ahead and like this video. Make sure that you share it on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, Snapchat, all of the social media. Make sure that you comment. Talk to us while we're talking. Let us know how you feel and what you think.
Right.
And let's introduce our special guest co-host once again, Mr. Demario himself.
Hey, thank you so much for having me. I'm so excited.
Yes.
I got some professional camera in today, so I'm not off of my flip phone on dial-up today, so I feel better.
Okay. Let's go ahead and take our first sip. Drink your wine, Trey, or whatever.
Ching.
And
this is being sponsored by the Birmingham Waterworks Tap.
Yeah.
Come on.
In the
Crystal tap water in the beautiful day.
Listen, let's talk about Drew and Ralph. Okay, this episode, in my opinion, was insane as far as what's going on between them two. Last time Demario said, of course, this is a very curated, staged relationship. And to me, it even kind of showed up a lot this episode, even with them fake flowers that was sitting there that just looked totally out of place in their house. One of the things that they were talking about was the fact that Ralph has made the decision to fire his assistant. But Drew asked him, do you still talk to her? And Ralph's response was, well, yes, I do still talk to her. I've, eliminated our business relationship, but we still have a personal relationship. What did you guys think about Ralph actually continuing to have a relationship with someone who clearly has crossed the lines and who your wife is uncomfortable with you talking to?
I can't fathom the fact of a person sitting there telling his partner that, okay, I told you I fired her, but that doesn't mean I'm going to stop talking to her. That's like saying, okay, I'll stop fucking her, but I ain't going to mean I'm stop getting head from her. Like, what the fuck? And then for her to sit there and not even react the way she should have reacted, I'm more so leaning towards what Demario said, that this is a created situation.
So how should she have reacted?
Knock his ass upside the head with something, like a black woman would have did.
No, Ralph asked Drew, do you want me to stop talking to her? And Drew didn't say anything. She didn't say yes, she didn't say no. She said, I don't want to say that you should because you're going to resent me. And then he said, well, I resent you for a lot of other things too. But instead of you telling your husband how you really felt about a situation, you made the decision to not say nothing at all. Mario, what did you think about all of this?
So like last week, I said this was a whole curated situation. However, I believe it's curated up until a certain point, and then I believe that destruction takes over. It's really hard and I think we're all smart individuals. If we were to get on a reality show and we say we want to start a fight, one thing that we probably just wouldn't think about doing is gaslight somebody for play. That's a different level of maniac that can two people play to gaslight somebody. It's something about Ralph when he first came on that first season. I was just like, oh my God, he's so handsome. And now when I see him, I'm like, he look like his breath stink. He just disgusts me. And when I see it, like it almost endears Drew, because you're like, why is she putting up with this? We've never had this dynamic where you like, girl, get out.
Run,
girl, run.
What are you doing? It's like almost the closest thing that I can think of is Portia and Cordell.
Yeah.
But the thing about that is you already know with the age dynamic with them, it was already going to be that level of like superiority because he was just smarter. He was just more knowledgeable. This seems more like, Drew, you got it. You got it. Like, you know when you're watching Wheel of Fortune and all the letters there and all they gotta do is pronounce it.
And they don't pronounce it right.
And they still mess up.
You like
desert.
True, you literally have everything. Producers in the confessional telling you what it is, and you just like, it's almost triggering to watch, like bringing me back to like being like in my 20s and like dealing with people that like meant no good to me. And it's like for everybody to watch it, it's sad.
For me, I think the right word that you used was triggering, because I'm sitting there just like Damari is saying, I want to reach out and slap the hell out of Drew. You know, I don't believe in hitting women or nothing like that. Drew, girl, we got all of the clues. Blue's Clues that gave you everything that you needed, girl.
Yes,
Blue's
it did.
Clues.
Blue's Clues.
Them painting all the arrows, the dots, connect. Girl, we done gave you everything, but you still sitting here with this man that's gaslighting you, and that the counselor done said that he's a maniac in a sense. Dude, you is making your wife look real stupid on national television, and you're making yourself look stupid too.
When you really think about it, that's like a lot of insecurity. Like, why are you putting up with this, Drew? Like, you really don't need this, like, because he is making a fool out of you, and you're smart. It's like watching Big Brother or Survivor, and they be like, they're out to get me. I know they're out to get me, but then you go and you fall in the hands, and then they vote you out. It's like, huh?
Do you think that, like, even when they had the whole scene where he brought her the flowers and he had the dinner and everything,
that is where it showed his mania, because he thought he could win everyone over and doing all these things. But you know, maniacs or narcissists, they can't see certain things that they do that is showing the true self of them. They're making these big gestures and all these things and basically love bombing. And then she just asks a simple question. It's like, I shouldn't even did this for you. Do you think that's gonna read well with the fans? Do you think people are gonna be like, oh, she's so crazy? Why was she? That's a good man, Savannah. No, people are looking.
We're not gonna say that, girl.
We're not. But it's almost like she is crying out for help when she meets people. She like, he did this or something like that. And you kind of like, why are you telling your business? It's a cry for help. Like, I know I'm not crazy. You see this? You know what I mean?
I was thinking, and this is what I was thinking, because when she was mentioning how he does these things for her, like dinner like that, he's romantic and everything. I was thinking, is this possibly a situation, because they're new, they're a fresh marriage, right? They ain't been married long as.
No, they've been together for like 8 or 9 years.
Something like
that. I know that. But I'm saying when I say fresh, they ain't been married as long as Sanya and her husband, or like, you know, like long, like real long. So with that, I'm thinking that because reality TV, we know reality TV can have an effect on a marriage or a relationship. Do you think that a possibility, because outside the camera, when they're not filming, he's a different person than what he is?
No, I don't think that's what it is. Andy Cohen said, do you think it breaks up relationships? No, it puts a mirror on your relationship where you're able to see it. Like Drew, we see you walking in, the murderer is right there, we see it. And normally you can't see it.
Don't be hollering behind you, he right there.
He's there, you got it. And I think it's going to be this press junket she goes through, all the girls like getting down on her like, girl. And I don't think the girls will say anything until the reunion. It'll become a come to Jesus talk. Like, I don't think you deserve that.
I believe that, yes, they curating and they're presenting this, but reality is actually starting to break through.
Yeah.
Or whatever, the glass is cracking. Or whatever, just like how, I don't know if y'all seen Doctor Strange when they had put the Scarlet Witch into that little circle thing. But that bitch was coming through. She was coming through like, boom, I'm here. Yes, I'm here. Yeah. I think that's reality is starting to break through, and we're starting to see that girl.
And that's why people always say people from first year always should come back, because you put that camera on you long enough, something is bound to come out.
The dinner scene, Ralph decides, I'm going to do something special. I'm going to,
No, it wasn't, I'm going to do something special. I'm going to do something that makes me look like I am a chivalrous husband.
Yeah.
And then, of course, as we see, it completely backfired. Now, one of the things that I did not like, first of all, I'm still trying to figure out, why the hell does Drew them got 17,000 assistants, girl?
This is a note that I was like, no, basically what it is, when Drew is filming, she like, Maurice, come over here. I'm about to film. Come over here. Trey, come over here. Assistant number 1. It ain't gonna be nothing but $150. Let's get us a personal chef. It does not give me like the chef is living in like the Reed or something like that.
You know what it also tells me? It tells me that two people who may not like to be around each other. So they have 17,000 people.
Last year was the mama. It was the mama who was there.
They're not dealing with what they need to deal with. And so it showed up in the dinner scene. He said, this wasn't the time for us to fix anything in our marriage. This was just a time for us to come together, which goes back to the point that you guys said about he was trying to do this to make himself look good.
Mm-hmm.
But he then says, I'm going to set up an appointment with our counselor so he can talk to you about how to talk to a black man.
Ooh, that made me so angry. That made me so angry.
She said, well, I'm going to set up an appointment for you so the doctor can help you not to be a maniac anymore. Because he threw a complete fit at the end of that dinner. How
do you talk to your wife that way?
Everything.
First of all, no, how do you talk to your wife? How do you talk to a woman that way and say, I'm going to set up a meeting so you can learn how to talk to a man?
Okay, so let me play devil's advocate.
Play it. Ready, player one, go.
A lot of people, they're kind of like, oh, this person grew up abused or something like that. And I feel like a form of abuse is passing toxic masculinity on black men. When it's forced so hard, they are fearful of communicating. They're fearful of talking about their feelings and everything like that. And I genuinely believe that Ralph thinks anytime we are just communicating, we're just talking something out, it's a personal attack on him. And how he loves or anything. So when she's just bringing up something, hey, you did this or something, I think what he's hearing is, I'm a bad husband, I'm a bad father, I'm not good enough, I'm not taking care of you. And I think that is what he is internalizing. And it's crazy because she can't say spit spot spaghetti to him without him thinking it's a complete.
She said that she's afraid that she's walking on eggshells.
And you can see the way she comes in. Hey, this is just something.
I've been in a situation like that. So I've been in a situation like that. So I know how it is. You try to just keep peace. I'm going to just internalize. I'm just keeping how I feel about what's going on just to keep peace. And that shit builds up. And when you have somebody who's in the limelight, it's probably worse. Ralph is literally the worst husband we have seen on Real Housewives of Atlanta.
So some other people that kind of has a lot of work to do, Candy and Todd. Todd has a condo in Jersey that he used to have with his ex-girlfriend. It didn't work. He moved out. She stayed. She never refinanced. Eventually, he had to step in and pay the condo off. So now he has this place in Jersey that he basically wants to make him and Candy's New Jersey, New York home when they're in the area. But Candy ain't feeling having this house that he quote unquote shared with another woman. The flip side to it is that Candy got this big house and Todd's name ain't nowhere on the deeds and titles there too. What did you guys think of this whole dynamic? And could you live in a home that your partner shared with someone else?
Yes, I could. Reason being, because life happens. Whatever y'all had. However, in the future, our goal needs to be to get our own home together.
Mm-hmm.
Because I'm not going to sit here and say, no, we need to go ahead right now and financially, like, say, let's do something together, because that might not be where we're at. So I can, yes, live in a place where that you had, but I mean, of course, things are going to change. I mean, I'm changing the bedroom set, the pots that you probably used to cook for him. I'm going to change that around.
You just going to scrub the whole house.
We go ahead and just clean this whole shit out. You know what I'm saying?
These rich people problems, because honestly, I mean, let's just be honest. We don't have that type of privilege to be able to, like, you stay here with your ex, sell it. I don't want it. They got money. Candy got money. I really don't think it's something. Now, if he wants to use it as a property to rent out and stuff like that, as a business, something, I understand it. But they not hurting for money. On the flip side, I don't think anything is wrong with his name not being on the deed or whatever, because a lot of times these rich people, they be doing stuff and knowing how to do it and set things up a certain way where there is a reason for the season. It's the reason they do things, and it probably doesn't have anything to do with this mind or nothing like that. It's other things that's probably
and that very well could be true. But I will say,
wait. Okay, go ahead. I gotta go
ahead. What you gonna say?
I'm just thinking, like, this is me, because I actually tweeted Candy about the whole his name not being on there, and she responded with her
yeah, I saw that.
You know, but my thing is about it. They've been married almost 10 years, right? When is there a point when you say, all right, well, then put my name on there, or let me put your name on there, or let's get another house? We've been married almost a decade.
But can y'all tell me what other than like superficial reasons?
Why are we discussing this now?
What's the reason? What's the reason to have his name on there? Just out of what?
I think what he had is his. He should keep it. He should keep that apartment up there in New York. Rent it if he wants to. Rent it out. Whatever you want to do. Airbnb it out. Her homes, keep her homes. But I do feel that at some point they do need to come together and purchase a home together. What's yours was yours. What's mine was mine. But when we're together, what we have is ours. I don't agree with Kandi putting his name on her house. I don't necessarily agree with him putting her name on his house. But I do think the house that they live in, basically now, it should be togetherness, in my opinion.
And they need to clean out that pool too, because all that stuff they had in that pool.
Well, they said they needed to do that or whatever, but
Candy girl.
Candy
girl. Please clean that pool.
What you not gonna do is expect me to sell my shit and you ain't gonna sell your shit.
We talk about properties. Let's go ahead and talk about Sheree.
I'm gonna say this. Sheree, I love when Sheree can come and wrap up a storyline. Because Chateau Sheree was an outstanding storyline. Her basement was an outstanding storyline. Sheree is an outstanding storyline. Sheree's home is beautiful. I seen a lot of people tweet like, well, where the fuck is Sheree getting money to even pay?
That's all I could think. Before I even got on social media, I was just like, this house is so impeccable. Like, did she spend every dime she
dated a billionaire? Oh no, my bad. That was Marlo.
Oh, I was like, who are you talking? What billionaire?
Yeah, it was just a beautiful home. I remember a couple years ago when she first got off that first time, she was selling shirts at Piedmont Park. So I'm like,
she got coin from that.
She was selling pictures too. You want to take a picture with Sheree? You had to pay
you had to. Yeah.
I remember that. You
remember that, Trey?
Yes, I do.
Honestly, with respect to Real Housewives of Atlanta, Sheree might be the only housewife that don't have no hustle outside. At least nothing that I see. Like, you know what I mean? She had the perfect opportunity to do. She brought Sheree to do some type of body fitness or something like that that she just did not do. So you always see these girls like hustling or promoting something.
But I want to know. Now, I don't know how much, you being in the Olympics and how much you win, how much income.
Okay, so
say you got 8,000 people living in her house.
It's a pretty purse that you, first of all, it's a pretty purse that you get when you win Olympics, plus endorsements and stuff like that. She does have a lot of investments and stuff. I remember watching her old show. Not to mention her husband was in the NFL and won 2 Super Bowls. So he has a pension since he retired. Not to mention she has consistently been a Olympic and NBC correspondent for track and field. So anytime they have meets and stuff like that. So she has actually lived a pretty reasonable life. And not to mention having all them people in your house, that save money too.
So let's talk about that for a minute. So you have a partner, y'all have a kid, but now your mom, your dad, your sister, all these people, 9 people, your sister, husband, and their 2 kids. How do you guys think that you can live with a lot of people? Like
y'all, we're thinking American culture.
I know, but do you think that you could do that though?
Yeah. Who, me?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a no. Not me. No,
because I like to walk around naked sometime and underwear sometime, and I don't need your mama or your daddy complaining about me in my own house that I pay the mortgage in and what I'm wearing. You know what I'm saying?
You know what? I say
too many people.
Ideally, I would say no, but I think maybe if I get to a certain age, I maybe wouldn't mind having family live with me. And I think we talked about this last time, even American culture, but I think sometimes even in Black culture, we're so quick to push our kids out. You need to learn the world. You need to do this. And we push them out with no type of teachings when it comes to finances, when you talk about credit. One thing I can say about a lot of white people I have seen is they do have their kids, stay here, get your footing, get your credit together, do this. So when they are moving out, they got a nest egg and a big down payment towards a home. Their credit is good. I think sometimes we miss the mark with that. Kind of goes back to the whole conversation between Kandi and Marlo. Why is it that Black people feel there's a badge of honor with having to struggle or work your way up, work your way ground up. Like, there's nothing wrong with you now being in a place where you come into money and then your kids don't have to struggle like you did.
I don't think we've ever verbalized it, but as soon as Candy said it, it's kind of like, you're right. Yes. It's no arguing about it. If I got it, my child gonna have it. I think the biggest thing has always been you want your children to be humble. That's where we're afraid of, because we see on the other side how the entitlement and all that other stuff comes. Right. But I think that's the biggest fear. You don't want your child to be entitled or spoiled to the point where it's to their detriment.
And just like Candy said, I'm going to give them access or things and give them knowledge, give them businesses or whatever that I may not have been able to give. But at the same time, I'm still going to teach them about working and having a work ethic. I think that's the part where sometimes some of us mix it up. No, don't just push your kid out the house and you ain't taught him about credit. Your credit fucked up. You don't put the lights in their name and you done set them up for failure. And then you're not giving them any principles. Oh, you 18. Either you're going to have to get in the military or you have to get out and get your own job. And I understand that, but don't just push your kids out there like that.
And let me also speak from experience. Sometimes it's the other way around. And sometimes we our parents been so strict, we ready to go and hit the streets. And
right. Ready to go.
And that happens now.
And to our detriment, like, we can, you know what I mean? So
I know a couple of people like that. Go ahead, Trey.
That can even speak on the whole thing, like with Marlo and her nephews, like and how this episode we saw her preparing him for homecoming. And just her relationship with them. I just really love her relationship she have, because she look like she's teaching them the values of importance of where they came from, but also just showing them what they have and what she's providing for them. So that can touch on that, and it's beautiful. Like, I can really say that I really enjoy seeing that. And
I think she really connects with them because, like she said, she was in foster care, so she knows how it is. So she knows exactly what love to give them and to make them feel comfortable.
And you know what? And the producers are doing a fantastic job because.
Listen.
This scene between the Candy and Marlo had, and how Marlo was trying to reach out to her and get advice from a motherhood perspective.
Candy gave some good advice, though.
Let me tell you something, though. They are doing a good job because it's going to make that blow up between them two.
They setting up all of them. Yeah, they setting them all up so they can do good flash.
Candy talking about when you invite me, well, come over tonight. Marlo, girl, you know I'm not coming over, girl. I ain't coming over tonight. Now I got to get on the
What Ace and Blaze going to do with Marlo? With Marlo nephews, they not even the same.
They're not.
Sit down and watch
tax bracket.
They can sit down and watch the Avengers together while we sit over here. We drink wine and
tax bracket, y'all,
or whatever. But I want to thank you guys so much for watching this episode of the Wind Up, episode 2, season 14 of Real Housewives of Atlanta. We will see you guys next time. But again, make sure that you like this video, share it, comment, tell us what y'all thinking. Where were you in this whole process when we were talking about Candy and Todd, Ralph and his wife, Drew, Sandy and her whole family situation? Comment below and tell us what you guys think.
Hey, Candy, tell me what you think, Candy, because I'm definitely going to send this to you. Girl.
Listen, Candy told you to stay out her damn business. Stay out of her business.
Candy, not cool. You're cool. I'm just going to DM her the link so she can watch it.
Mind your business. Okay?
And when I DM it to you, girl, make sure you share it, girl. Just share it, girl.
See you guys later. Bye.